Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 2580. Today's date is 7th September 2022. वाजले आता रात्रीचे almost now. Just recently, I heard a news about कि Pakistan is ban YouTube. Okay, ban. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Just YouTube, not Google. Okay, uh, YouTube is a part of Google. Okay, like a Google is a company and YouTube is a part of that company. Okay, so Pakistan didn't really ban entire, yeah, Google, no, because YouTube is just part. There are, like a YouTube, there are so many things on in Google, like Gmail and things like that, but they just banned youtube.com. Okay, so I like why I'm talking this thing, like does any country ban YouTube? I ban something like that, what does it affect you? Well, it's not it's actually, it's a out of the league kind of like a conversation. Okay, I'm just wanting to talk. Okay, I just like I don't know. Okay, some things, like I don't know, like I wanted to talk, so that's what I'm talking. Okay, uh, recently in Pakistan, there are so many floods came there, and it's a very massive floods. Okay, and why floods came? Because of excessive amount of rainwater. Okay, and also a lack of dams and everything. Okay, so what is exactly dam and everything? Okay, so what is exactly happened now? So when rain will drop on the surface and things like that, the rainwater is fall on the ground, and when it consume, like when it falls so much amount of rain, then it is kind of like that ki it's floods happened in entire place, entire ground. Okay, it's kind of like a every ground is actually um, the water is above the ground, so it's kind of like a flooded. Okay, everything is flooded. Okay, so how do we actually, like in India, there are so many floods happened. Okay, in northeast area, in northeast area there are so many floods happen. In southern area there are so many floods happen, but we don't really seen that much ki the homes, people's home destroys and things like that. But why in the Pakistan, why is this such thing happen? Okay, and it's not really massive floods. Okay, because actually we face a really heavy floods in our past and history, but we manage very quietly and things like that. But um, in Pakistan, the floods are not that kind of like really massive. Yeah, it is massive for them, but not massive if you compare that to the India. But the destruction is happen is quite more really devastating. So how is this thing, like why is this thing happened? So basically, let me compare to India. Okay, so we build so much amount of dam and water reservoirs. Okay, so what is exactly dam and reservoirs? Okay, so basically what is exactly is this thing is that we build a dam for reservoir some sort of waters and things like that. Okay, so we can control the flow of river and control the flow of floods and everything. Okay, so this is the exactly kind of like a really helpful. And as also when you have that dam and everything, you can generate electricity from the discharge of fluids and everything. Okay, so it's a kind of like a really win-win situation. So you have to build a dam. Okay, so in our India we build so many dams. Okay, in every river we have very big dam, kind of like a really massive dams. They can generate kind of like a thousands of kilowatts of energies and things like that, so it is really massive. Okay, in India we build so much amount of dam, but as we compare to the China build, it is enormous amount of dam, literally just like that. कि if you count the entire dam in entire world escape China, China made even more than that. It's just kind of like a China. They control their water resources so much well. It's just like really good. Like basically China is actually facing so much amount of floods and everything, but they didn't really feel anything about floods and things like, because they have so much amount of water reservoirs and things like that, so they control themselves very quietly. Okay, as compared to India, China, it has so much, but our India, yeah, we have that dam, but we are not that kind of we don't have that much number of dams, but whatever the dam we have, we can control our floods and water reservoir and things like that. Okay, but in the Pakistan, they didn't have so much amount of dam. Rarely, almost like that ki, if I known them, maybe 10, 12, max to max. Okay, and some of the kind of under construction and things like that. So might be, it's just like that ki, the working dam might be 5, maximum number 10. Okay, 10 dam. Okay, so 10 dam is not had enough. Okay, and when it kind of really massive floods now, so at that time the reservoir has to be very much strong. Okay, so it is really important of the dam. And basically, since we independence, basically India and Pakistan, we are free at the same time. Okay, in 14th August, and we are 15th August. Okay, it's the same time. Okay, but after that, we develop so fast. Okay, we understand our potential and we do it work and everything like that. But in Pakistan is always be kind of like a um, con- uh, conflict with the religious and caste, and it is so bad thing. Okay, the way that happened in the Pakistan, I am really not so good about this. Basically is that there are so many very good number of people in Pakistan. Okay, there are so many cricket and Bollywood actors as also, they are so good, but eventually their country is not that good. It's really not that good. They are barely surviving. Okay, basically there is a massive floods. They lost almost like a 10 billion of economic disaster. Okay, and then there is that there is inflation. Okay, almost like a 30% inflation. Whatever the price of everything, it increased 500%, not twice, 500%. That is so much. Okay, basically if you wanted to buy sugar, in India, you can buy sugar in maybe 30 rupees per kilo or maybe 35 rupees per kilo. In Pakistan, you have to pay almost maybe 600 or 700 rupees per kilo for sugar. Can you imagine? This is so expensive. Okay, their inflation is so much high. Okay, so um, and it's just not a one thing. There are so many things. Okay, and there is a floods actually, and they don't have any money. Okay, basically they are the GDP and the what is the foreign reserve, foreign currency reserve money, they have very less, almost maybe $30 billion or something like that, but it's very less. Okay, as compared to Bangladesh, it has something really much bigger forex reserve. They have almost like a 135 or maybe 150 billion dollar. Okay, in India we have 573 trillion. Okay, 573, 570, that is too much, but we have in trillion. Okay, we are in actually in trillion. Okay, so we don't actually worry about that. Okay, and actually in India we are growing so fast. Okay, basically in entire world, because of this COVID, and then after that this Russia and Ukraine war, every country is facing inflation. but in our India we are not facing the inflation, and inflation means mehengai. Okay, we are not facing any inflation, and as also we are growing very rapidly. Okay, in the statistic, it's not statistic. Basically, is that the GDP of our India, we cross. Actually, we are on the fifth rank. Okay, what is GDP? GDP is that ki how much wealth the current how much wealth country have. That is called GDP. Okay, so first number is US, second number is China, third number is Germany, France, then India, then UK. Okay, so we are actually fifth, but before that, before a month ago, we are actually sixth number. We cross UK. Okay, United Kingdom, British. Okay, British is a country. They colonize us almost like a 75 years ago, maybe 300 year ago. They colonize us, and they treat us very very badly, okay, as a brown people, and they are not respecting everything. But right now in 2021, right now 2022, we are kind of like so grown up really fast that UK is actually behind us. Okay, United Kingdom is actually behind us, and we are move forward. Okay, we are actually in the fifth position. Okay, and and actually most of the economist and the people who are actually relate with the kind of like a economic thing, they are actually suggesting or things like that. They are actually suggesting ki at the end of 2013, US will no longer be first position, China will hold the first position, second is US, and third will be India. Okay, then fourth will Germany, then France, then UK. So it's actually very like it's just like that. I am actually very much very kind of like a very like when I see such new positive news and things like that, na, like in like where we was, okay, in India, every people are actually looking at a kind of like a very typical views. Okay, they say they watch India as a kind of like a third world country, so much population, people are very poor here and everything. It's just like a people are treating us very badly, but instead of all those things, we grow up so fast. Okay, and it's just not so fast. Like we are not lucky, we are not say something like that. No, we actually work really hard as a Indian, as a citizen of India. I'm actually very proud for my country that things happened, and it's actually we are actually at such a position that we are growing so fast. Okay, but instead of Pakistan is actually not growing. It's dropping. Okay, it's not growing. Okay, it's dropping. And how? Why is dropping? Because bad decisions and the politics and the corruptions and the what they want and what they get. It's just like that. Okay, the previous prime minister. Right now, the prime minister is Bajwa. Bajwa is not actually the prime minister. He is actually held for like he actually handling the position of prime minister. He is not elected from the peoples. Why? Like how? Like before that, there is a prime minister who named Imran Khan, who is actually elected for the prime minister for the 5 years, but after 3.5 year, they are actually some sort of a party people like inside of Gathbandhan says something like that. People are actually kind of like leaving them, so somehow they are actually forcefully have to pay resignation for their prime minister. So their rest of the journey, like rest of the years, there is a Bajwa who is actually handling the prime minister position. Okay, but let me tell you about the Imran Khan. Okay, the first motto of the Imran Khan is that he as a prime minister, like if you decided that ki, like I'm just say that ki, if you are a prime minister of a some sort of company, some sort of country, and you are handling that country for maybe 5 years, okay, so what is your kind of like a motto, or like what you wanted to do for your country? You just, most important thing is that ki grow your country, be kind of like a rozgar, then it's kind of like a, it's good for the country, okay. As a kind of like a Imran Khan, when he elected prime minister in Pakistan, he was the first motto is that he wanted, he want to be took Kashmir from our India. Okay, like they wanted to expand, or they says that ki Kashmir belongs to the Pakistan, and they want they want Kashmir back. Okay, so there is a there they have motto. Okay, but but what does India does? India does something really even more. Okay, like basically is that ki Kashmir is a kind of like a non-union. It's kind of like a union territory. It's actually like that ki Indian government is uh, not actually kind of like a do some sort of dhawda dhawad in Kashmir, because Kashmir is a kind of like a integral part of Pakistan and India. Okay, it belongs to the India, but actually India is not actually controlling Kashmir. Okay, because it's kind of like a law 170, uh, 170, yeah, 170 law. Because of the Kashmir integrity, you have to be respect and everything. Okay, but actually is that ki in 2020 India is actually putting lot of effort, and it's kind of like a little bit of politics. Okay, it's kind of like I am easy to understand. Like we control Kashmir, okay, and we bring back our control. And right now, Indian army and everything, and Indian police and everything will control the Kashmirs, okay. So the Imran Khan motto was completely flop in Pakistan, and he was not a good leader. He was actually a corrupted person, and he's not good, okay. And whatever the country is actually in that position is that because of Imran Khan, okay. I don't know, but yeah, he is. But why today? Why I'm telling about this Imran Khan and Pakistan things like that? I don't know. Like I just wanted to talk about this thing, so I came. Okay, so yeah, like what exactly happened today? Yeah, let's talk about today now. Yeah, like most of the people will get those information from the internet very easily and very understandably. Why do you record in this artifact episode? This artifact episode means to be you, not, yeah. But somehow I wanted to talk, so yeah. Today just like yeah, I am uploading my gameplay. Yeah, it's uploaded. Yeah, after this artifact episode I will title and thumbnail khatam. All right, so this is the decision. Thank you, by the way, thanks.